Alright, welcome back everyone, it's your Code King Zaf. You're back at it with yet another juicy video. Of course, we're gonna jump in and cover the brand new weapon, the Winter Fang. Yes, that's right, we're gonna jump in and cover every single advancement, just because this weapon here is one of the most interesting ones we've had to date, with amazing passives as well. I mean, check this out, we have Isolation, increasing our damage dealt by 30%, and our crit damage dealt by another 30% as well. Woo! This is one strong weapon, so I want to jump in, cover with you, but I do want to mention one thing. A huge shout out to all our viewers. Your support has meant the world this week. I know a lot of you are saying, Zaf, get some rest, get some sleep, but I refuse to do that. Between the streams, between the videos, between my job in real life, I haven't had a wink, but that's not going to stop me. I'm going to pump out all the content just because in order for me to get a bunch of free codes for the support program, I have to do a bunch of video missions, so I have to pump out these videos non-stop. So jump in, support us yet again, because your support has been reset. Everyone's support was removed, so jump in and support us yet again. We were at the 40,000 supporter mark, but we went back down all the way to 0. We have to build it back up, so jump in, support us yet again. We have a bunch of codes coming out for Essence Stones and Mana Power Extracts. 1,000 here, 1 here, some Golden Rune Fragments too, with 6 more codes coming out. And as you know, I've already completed my mission. My video is submitted, so I'm just waiting for the codes from the marble, which I'll send out to all our juicy viewers, of course. But I do want to mention one thing. To join our Discord server right now, I have giveaways for supporters on our Discord server for hundreds of dollars each, so jump in and support us, jump in and join our Discord server. That way you don't miss out on the giveaways. Of course, we have hundreds of dollars available to you that are ending very soon, so jump in, that way you don't miss out. Well, with that said, let's jump in and cover the brand new weapon, because the effects are honestly amazing. We have this right here. When it comes to the A0 advancement, that means no dupes on the weapon. When the user equips the Title Wolf Assassin Blessing Stone, it activates the Isolation effect. So just by using a pretty junky Blessing Stone, we do get this amazing effect right here, increasing our damage dealt by 30% and increasing our crit damage as well. And there's no note of a rarity, so that could be a rare, heroic, or legendary Blessing Stone. Regardless of the rarity, we do get the bonus applied, which is huge. If you're in the early game, this could help out a ton, but we have this right here as well. When the user's current power gauge is at the 30% mark or higher, when using the Wolf's Shadow, that is the weapon's main skill, Wolf's Shadow becomes Wolf's Echo for 3 seconds, and Wolf's Echo right here, the damage remains the same, but our power gauge consumption becomes 30%, so that means we potentially use our ultimate power gauge, because that's the only power gauge we have. Unless the weapon has its own gauge, which I doubt, we are using our ultimate power gauge, which is something we've never really had before. Usually our weapons boost up our power gauge, they don't consume it. So this weapon is truly a wolf, I guess, based on name. It's consuming whatever food we have, whatever resource we have to boost its own damage. But when it comes to our scythe, such as the Shadow Scythe, the issue was it never had super armor, but in this case, this weapon does get the super armor effect, and also right here, another interesting effect. The user swings his scythe powerfully, leaving Echo Wolves on the battlefield. Does that mean we get to spawn our own companions on the field, kind of acting like shadows as well? That's very interesting. I wonder what their damage numbers will be. Interesting. That's honestly the coolest weapon out there. I know a lot of you kind of like companionship when it comes to, I guess, spawning familiars, right? So that's gonna be neat. That's gonna tickle a lot of your fancies. Is that the right phrase for it? But I digress. Let's cover the A1 bonus. So when it comes to the A1 bonus, when the user uses Wolf's Echo, the Wolf's Echo skill becomes now the White Wolf's Knight. So it transforms twice from the Wolf's Shadow to the Wolf's Echo, all the way down to the White Wolf's Knight for 3 seconds. When the user uses a Water Elemental skill, their power gauge recharges by 10% with a cooldown of 1 second. Not too bad. we have to time it just a bit, but 1 second isn't too bad. That is very reasonable. So interesting. We can build up our power gauge quite fast using our ultimates and using a skill which does consume our power gauge. So this is kind of confirming that it is probably going to be our ultimate power gauge. But as you can see right here, when the Wolf's Shadow or Wolf's Echo hits, it activates the silver mark effect on the target with a 0.5 second cooldown. When the user is hit in the air while using White Wolf Snipe, it activates extreme evasion. Okay, that's good. We do get that bonus dodge effect, which actually might be a bit annoying depending on who you ask. Some people like that, some people don't. I know a lot of you agree that when it comes to Kane, when that activates, it's kind of annoying. Or when you're in a JINWOO match and you have to use your dash and it dodges when you didn't want to, it applies the extreme evasion effect, which can be good but can be bad. But we do have the White Wolf Snipe effect. The damage is the same as Wolf's Shadow. The user appears to strike the enemy within a moment, so still that not even a breath could escape. I mean, wait, hold on. Does this boost our damage or make the skill faster? I'm assuming it changes how the weapon kind of works. I mean, it just says damage is the same with a bonus verbal effect. It's kind of like a trust me bro, I'll deal more damage. We'll see though when we test the weapon out. But this is the silver mark. Wait, hold on. Increases the damage of White Wolf Snipe by 55%, and we gain super armor as well. That's kind of huge actually. A 55% damage bonus and super armor and a 3-second duration too. Wow. Super armor for 3 seconds isn't bad at all. I'll take that. So not too bad so far. The weapon does seem promising. That's only the A1 bonus, by the way. It's already cooking up a storm. A2 is standard. The user's war damage increases by 10%, very standard. A4 as well, same thing. It's always standard where we do get a cooldown decrease, but when it comes to A3, when the user enters a stage, their power gauge is charged by 50%. Using Wolf's Shadow or Wolf's Echo activates the Dusk effect. So the Dusk effect is very easy to activate. You get it just by using your weapon skill, easy peasy, but the bonuses are crazy. Increases the crit rate of all the skills by 15% and the crit damage by 40% as well. So basically a buff that always applies to your weapon cast. That is huge. It's a self-buffing effect, giving us major bonuses. Crit and crit damage are always welcome. A4, like I mentioned, is standard, but here is A5. Get ready. The Dusk and the Silver Mark effects are enhanced. A bonus crit rate of 25%, all the way up from 15%, a 10% bonus, and watch this, 40% here, when now becomes an 80% crit damage increase, and also, wait, there's more. It wasn't here before, but now we get a water damage increase of 80%. Yeesh. That is some crazy stacking effects. And that is not all. The Silver Mark stacks up to 2 times now with a 55% bonus for a total of 110%. This weapon is self-sufficient. I am shook to my core. This is a strong weapon. We'll have to see though, but I do think right now it is going to be the best in slot, the best water weapon, period. No weapon will compare. You just need to equip the Blessing Stone, which is fine, right? I mean, that kind of fixes an issue we have. If you're lacking one Blessing Stone, you just pop on the Tidal Wolf's Assassin and you get a 30% crit damage and a 30% damage bonus, which is not a caveat at all. That's a plus in my book, so I cannot wait to test out the weapon, see what it's like. So I do want to know in the comments right now, do you plan on summoning for this weapon when it's released? Because honestly, it does look very promising. The best in-slot water weapon, or, you know, it's probably going to be best in slot just because our other water weapons aren't the best, right? So in the comments, let me know, and drop a like, of course, if you're ready for it. And also, do not forget to subscribe, but to support us as well to get all your free codes, of course. We have a bunch of codes coming out, so jump in and support us that way you don't miss out on the free Essence Stones Gold and other goodies, of course, from Mana Power Extracts to more Essence Stones, Trace's Shadow, and more. Jump in and support us that way you don't miss out, and join our Discord server as well. But on that note, this is your Code King Zaf, signing out.